She laughed. Our kids aren't my problem. When I asked for help, I said, you're right. When child support enforcement garnished her wages for the kids she'd abandoned, they became her financial problem. I, 34 male, honestly thought co-parenting would be manageable. Even after Veronica, 32, and I divorced 2 years ago, I figured she'd at least stay involved with our kids, Lily 8 and Mason 6. Boy, was I wrong. The divorce itself was pretty straightforward. We grew apart. She wanted to find herself, typical stuff. We agreed on 50-50 custody initially. I kept the house since I could afford the mortgage solo. She got her car and half our savings. Standard split. The kids stayed in their school district with me. First few months, she took them every other weekend as agreed. Then it became once a month. Then every other month. By last summer, she'd basically disappeared from their lives except for the occasional FaceTime call that lasted maybe 5 minutes. Meanwhile, she's living her best life, according to Instagram. New apartment downtown, constant bar photos, weekend trips, new boyfriend every few months. Living like she's 22 with zero responsibilities. The breaking point came 3 weeks ago. Mason had been asking why mommy doesn't visit anymore, and Lily needed new school supplies and clothes. She's growing like crazy. I texted Veronica asking if she could help with expenses, since she hadn't paid a dime in child support despite our agreement. Also asked if she wanted to see them for Lily's upcoming birthday. Her response? She called me, actually laughing, and said, "Look, Tyler, this whole parent thing isn't working for me. Our kids aren't my problem anymore. You wanted the house and custody so bad, you deal with it. I'm living my life now." I was stunned. "They're your children, Veronica." "Were my children. I signed my rights away in my head. Stop trying to guilt trip me. I'm done playing mom." She hung up. I sat there staring at my phone while my kids ate dinner in the next room, completely unaware their mother just wrote them off like a bad investment. That's when something clicked. She was right about one thing. They weren't her problem, but she was wrong about something else. She doesn't get to just decide that on her own. I spent that evening documenting everything. Every missed visit. Every text where she canceled, every month she didn't contribute financially, the custody agreement stating she owes child support, screenshots of her social media showing her expensive lifestyle while claiming she couldn't afford to help with her kids. The next morning, I made an appointment with my lawyer. Update 1. Well, the ball is rolling and Veronica is not happy. My lawyer filed for full custody and formal child support enforcement through the state. Since Veronica had basically abandoned the kids for over 6 months with no financial support, we had a strong case. The state child support enforcement agency doesn't mess around. They found her employment info pretty quick. She works as a marketing manager at a tech startup. Makes decent money, around $75,000 a year. More than enough to pay her share. The first she heard about it was when HR called her into a meeting. The state had sent a wage garnishment order. 25% of her income will now come directly to me for the kids. That's about $1,200 a month after taxes. She called me screaming, not laughing anymore. "What did you do?" "Held you accountable. You said the kids weren't your problem. Now they're the state's problem to make sure you pay for." "You vindictive piece of shit. You're ruining my life. I can't afford my apartment with this garnishment." Should have thought about that before abandoning your children. I didn't abandon them. I just needed space. 8 months of space, no visits, no calls, no money. That's abandonment, Veronica. She tried everything. Threats about getting a lawyer with what money. Saying I was alienating the kids. Documented evidence shows otherwise. Even trying to sweet-talk me about working something out between us. There's nothing to work out. You made your position clear. The state is just making sure you follow through financially. But here's where it gets interesting. Her mom, Diane, called me the next day. Now, Diane has always been a piece of work. Entitled, enabling, always making excuses for Veronica. Apple didn't fall far from that tree. "Tyler, sweetheart, this garnishment business is ridiculous. Ronnie's just going through a phase. You need to call this off." "A phase?" "She hasn't seen her kids in 8 months, Diane. She's finding herself. You can't punish her for that. Besides, you make good money. You don't need her help. It's not about what I need. It's about what the kids are entitled to from both parents." Well, if you keep this up, she might never come back to be a mother to them. She already made that choice. At least now she's paying for it. Diane hung up on me. 20 minutes later, I get a text from Veronica's dad, Robert. Much more reasonable guy, always has been. Tyler, I'm sorry about all this. Just found out what's been going on. Diane's been telling me Veronica was seeing the kids regularly. I had no idea. Do what you need to do. Those kids deserve better. At least someone in that family has sense. The kids are doing okay. I haven't told them about the drama with their mom, just keeping their routine normal. Though Lily asked me last night if mommy doesn't love them anymore. Broke my heart. Told her mommy loves them, but is dealing with grown-up problems. Not sure how long that explanation will work. The garnishment starts next month. Veronica's already posting on social media about having to move to a cheaper place, had to cancel a girls' trip to Vegas selling her designer bags. Cry me a river. Update 2. The first garnishment hit, and the explosion was nuclear. Veronica tried to quit her job to avoid paying. Her brilliant plan? No job, no wages to garnish, right? Wrong. My lawyer immediately filed a motion for contempt. Judge wasn't amused. Told her she had 30 days to find comparable employment or face jail time. She went crawling back to her job, but they'd already filled her position. They offered her a lower position at less pay. She had to take it. Now here's where her entitlement really went off the rails. She showed up at my house last Tuesday. First time she'd been here in almost a year. Not to see the kids. They were at school. She came to negotiate. She looked rough. The designer clothes were gone, replaced with regular stuff. The expensive highlights grown out. Reality was hitting hard. Tyler, please, I can't live like this. Like what? Having to pay for your children? I'm barely surviving. I had to move in with a roommate. I'm 32 years old. And I'm 34 raising 2 kids alone. We all make sacrifices. This isn't fair. You tricked me. Tricked you? You literally said our kids weren't your problem. I just agreed with you and let the state handle it. Then she pulled out the manipulation card, started crying about how she's been struggling with depression, how she never meant to abandon them, how she just needed time to figure things out. Veronica, you posted pictures from Cabo 2 weeks ago. The tears stopped instantly. That was a work trip. With the hashtag living my best life. She switched tactics again. Fine, what do you want? You want me to grovel? Beg? I'm here, aren't I? I don't want anything from you except what the court ordered. The kids needed a mother. You chose not to be one. Now you just owe money. Can I at least see them? You haven't asked about them once in this entire conversation. You haven't asked how they're doing in school, if they're healthy, what they like now. You're here about money, not them. She couldn't even deny it. Just stood there with her mouth open. When you actually want to be a mother, not just avoid payments, we can discuss supervised visits. She left, but not before keying my truck on her way out. Joke's on her, I have security cameras. Added destruction of property to the file. My lawyer sent her a bill for the repair estimate, $1,800. Pay up or we press charges. But the real kicker came 3 days later. Remember Diane, her enabling mother? She tried to ambush me at grocery store with the kids. Grandma Diane? Mason ran up to her. He still loved his grandma, even if she hadn't seen them in months either. Hi baby. She hugged him, then looked at me with ice in her eyes. Tyler, we need to talk about this situation. Not in front of the kids, Diane. Fine, kids, go pick out a candy. She handed them each $5. They ran off to the candy aisle. You're destroying my daughter. Your daughter destroyed herself. I'm just ensuring she pays her legal obligation. She can't afford to live. She can't afford her lifestyle. There's a difference. You're being cruel. Those kids need their mother. They needed their mother 8 months ago. Where was she? Where were you? You haven't seen them either. I was respecting Veronica's space. By abandoning your grandchildren too? That hit a nerve. How dare you? I love those children. Love requires showing up, Diane. You failed too. She raised her hand like she was going to slap me. I pulled out my phone. Please do. I'll add assault to the file. She lowered her hand, grabbed her purse, and stormed off. Didn't even say goodbye to the kids. They came back with their candy, asking where Grandma went. Another conversation I had to navigate. That night, Veronica sent me a novel-length text about how I'm alienating her entire family, ruining her life, traumatizing the kids, being a vindictive ex who can't move on, etc. I responded with one line: "Your payment is due on the 1st." She blocked me. Fine by me. All communication goes through lawyers anyway. Robert, her dad, reached out again though, apologized for Diane's behavior, said he'd like to have a relationship with the kids if I'm comfortable with it. He's willing to do it properly, supervised visits at first, family therapy if needed, whatever makes it work. Finally, an adult in that family. Meanwhile, I found out through mutual friends that Veronica's been telling everyone I'm financially abusing her, that I manipulated the system, that I turned the kids against her. Nobody's buying it though. Hard to claim poverty when people saw your Cabo post 2 weeks ago. The garnishment continues. Kids are in therapy now to deal with the abandonment. They're doing better. Lily stopped asking about mom. Mason still asks occasionally, but less. We're surviving. Actually, we're doing better than surviving. We're thriving without the chaos. Final update. This will be my last update because frankly, we've moved on and there's not much more to tell. But the conclusion to this saga is worth sharing. 2 months ago, Veronica's financial situation got desperate. The garnishment, combined with her reduced salary and the truck repair bill, left her in serious trouble. She couldn't afford her share of rent even with a roommate. Her credit cards were maxed from trying to maintain her lifestyle. So she did what entitled people do. She tried to move back in with her parents. Diane, of course, welcomed her with open arms. Robert, not so much. According to him, we've developed a cordial relationship for the kids' sake. It caused a massive fight. He told Veronica she made her bed and needs to lie in it, that she abandoned her children and needs to face consequences. Diane accused him of taking my side. They're getting divorced now. 33 years of marriage ending because Diane couldn't stop enabling their daughter's terrible choices. Robert told me he's been unhappy for years, but this was the final straw. Watching his daughter abandon his grandchildren and his wife support it. Veronica, now living with just Diane in their soon-to-be sold house, got desperate enough to actually file for a modification of child support, claiming financial hardship. Big mistake. See, when you file for modification, they review everything. Income, assets, spending. The court forensic accountant found some interesting things. She'd been doing freelance marketing work under the table, had about $15 in a investment account she didn't disclose, was receiving regular Venmo payments from various men labeled as drinks and dinner. Make of that what you will. Not only did the judge deny her modification, he increased the support amount based on her unreported income. It's now $1,500 a month. He also ordered her to pay back support for the months she missed before the garnishment started, another $7,200. She had 2 choices, payment plan or jail. She took the payment plan. But here's the part that actually made me smile. Last month was Lily's 9th birthday. For the first time in over a year, Veronica reached out asking to see her. Not for a visit, not to reconnect. She wanted to post birthday photos on social media to look like a good mom. I said she could come to the party if she won. Attended 3 family therapy sessions first. 2, brought actual presents, not dollar store junk. 3, stayed the whole party. 4, no photos for social media. She agreed to none of it. Said I was being controlling and manipulative, so she didn't come. Instead, Robert came. Brought thoughtful gifts, played with the kids, helped clean up. He's been coming around every other Sunday for dinner. The kids call him Papa Rob now. He never mentions Veronica unless they ask, and then only says she loves you but has grown-up problems to solve. Veronica still posts on social media like she's living her best life, but mutual friends tell me it's all fake. She takes photos at nice places but doesn't buy anything. Goes to clubs but nurses 1 drink all night. The lifestyle she killed her family for doesn't even exist anymore. Meanwhile, my kids are thriving. Lily made honor roll. Mason joined Little League. They stopped asking about their mom. Stopped waiting for her to show up. They've adjusted to our new normal. Just the 3 of us. With Papa Rob visiting and my sister helping out when needed. The child support money? Every penny goes into their college funds and necessities. They'll have what they need for their futures, even if it's coming from a garnishment rather than love. Veronica was right about one thing. Our kids aren't her problem. They're her legal obligation, and that's all she'll ever be to them now. A monthly deposit and a cautionary tale about choosing selfishness over family. As for me, I'm done being angry. Done expecting her to change. Done protecting the kids from the truth in age-appropriate ways. They know mommy chose not to be around, but that it's not their fault. They know they're loved by the people who show up. And that's enough. Sometimes the best revenge isn't elaborate. It's just holding someone accountable to the law and letting their own choices eat them alive. Veronica wanted freedom from her kids. She got it. But freedom isn't free. It costs $1,500 a month, plus interest. Thanks for following this journey. She laughed. You really think you're the best I can do? During an argument, I replied, you're probably right. Then I started working out, got promoted, and transformed my life. 8 months later, when she saw me with someone new, her tearful voicemail said everything. I, 29 male, heard those words from my girlfriend Rachel, 27, 3 months ago during what started as a small argument about me forgetting to pick up groceries. We'd been together for 4 years, living together for 2. The argument escalated when she brought up how I'd let myself go since we moved in together. I'd gained maybe 30 pounds, stopped caring about my appearance, and honestly, I was stuck in a dead-end data entry job, making $42 a year. Look at yourself, Derek, she said, gesturing at me in my stained t-shirt and gym shorts I hadn't used for actual gym in 2 years. You really think you're the best I can do? I'm getting my MBA. I work out 5 days a week. Meanwhile, you're this. The way she laughed when she said it, not angry, not frustrated, just amused. Like the whole idea was genuinely funny to her. I stood there for a moment, something shifting inside me. Then I said, you're probably right. She blinked, caught off guard. What? You're probably right. You probably can do better. That's not Derek. I didn't mean. No, you did. And that's okay. I grabbed my keys and wallet. I'm gonna stay at Tommy's tonight. We should probably talk tomorrow about next steps. The look on her face was priceless. She expected me to beg, to promise to change, to fight for us. Instead, I just left. Tommy, my roommate from college, let me crash on his couch. That night, I couldn't sleep. Not because I was heartbroken. Weirdly, I felt relieved, like someone had finally said out loud what I'd been avoiding thinking about. The next morning, I went back to pack my things. Rachel was in full damage control mode. Baby, I was just frustrated. You know I didn't mean it. Yeah, you did. And you're not wrong. You're in shape, ambitious, going places. We both know this has been dead for a while. So you're just giving up? Just like that? No, I'm setting you free to find the best you can do. And honestly, setting myself free, too. She tried everything. Tears, anger, even tried to seduce me. First time she'd initiated anything in 6 months, lol. But I was done. Moved back in with my parents temporarily, which yeah, wasn't ideal at 29, but it was what it was. Here's the thing though, her words kept echoing. Not in a painful way, but like a wake-up call I needed. Update 1. Okay, so quick update, because some interesting stuff has happened. First, the self-improvement stuff. Joined a gym, the cheap one, $25 a month, but it has everything I need. Started meal prepping. Thank you, YouTube University. Applied for internal positions at my company. Signed up for some online certifications in data analysis. Nothing dramatic yet. Lost maybe 8 pounds, but I feel different. More awake, if that makes sense. But here's the wild part. Rachel has been texting me a lot. Started with just checking in messages. Then I miss us texts at 2 a.m. Then she started getting angry that I wasn't responding. Last week, she showed up at my parents' house. My mom answered the door. I was at the gym. According to Mom, the conversation went like this. Rachel, is Derek home? I need to talk to him. He's not here. And frankly, after what you said to him, I'm not sure why you'd think he'd want to talk. He told you about that? It was taken out of context. Context? You laughed at my son and told him you could do better. What context makes that okay? We were together for 4 years. He can't just throw that away. Mom, seems like you did that when you laughed at him, honey. Rachel apparently went off, called my mom an enabler, and said she was the reason I was a failure. My sweet 5'2" mother, who volunteers at the animal shelter and makes cookies for the whole neighborhood, just said, I think you should leave now, and closed the door. Rachel then texted me 23 times in an hour about how my psycho mother disrespected her and how I needed to control my family. I finally responded, "My mom's great. Please stop contacting me." She responded with a novel about how I was giving up on us and running away from commitment, and how her friends all think I'm probably gay because no straight man walks away from a woman like her. I didn't respond, but I did screenshot everything, just in case. The funny part? Her Instagram stories have been all these quotes about knowing your worth and never settling, while she's literally blowing up my phone begging me to come back. Tommy thinks she's panicking because I didn't react how she expected. His theory: bro, she wanted you to fight for her, to prove you were worthy. Instead, you agreed and left. That probably broke her brain a little. Maybe. Don't really care though. I got a call back for a business analyst position that pays $65. Interviews next week. Fingers crossed. Update 2. Holy crap, guys. So much has happened. First, the good stuff. Got the business analyst job. $65K salary, full benefits, and they're paying for me to get my advanced certifications. Down 22 pounds, still got more to go, but my old jeans fit again. Moved into my own apartment. Nothing fancy, but it's mine. Started rock climbing with some guys from work. Who knew I'd actually like it? Now for the Rachel drama, because apparently she's lost her damn mind. So, remember how she was texting constantly? After I blocked her number, she started emailing my work address, having her friends message me, creating fake Instagram accounts to watch my stories, showing up at my gym. She lives across town. There's no reason for her to be there. The gym thing was something. I was doing squats when I saw her in the mirror, just standing there watching me. I finished my set, turned around, and she acted surprised. "Oh, Derek, what a coincidence." "Rachel, you live 40 minutes from here." I was in the area. "Doing what?" "Shopping." "There's no stores here. It's all office buildings." She got flustered and tried to change tactics. Put her hand on my arm, did that thing with her voice she used to do. "We could work out together sometime, like old times." We never worked out together. "We could start." "I'm good, please don't come here again." That's when she noticed I'd actually built some muscle. Her whole demeanor changed. "You look different." "I need to finish my workout." "Are you seeing someone?" "That's not your business anymore." She lost it, started crying right there in the gym. Not quiet tears either, full dramatic sobs. "I made one mistake. One mistake. And you throw away 4 years." Everyone was staring. The gym manager started walking over. I just said you should go and went back to my workout. But here's where it gets insane. Her mom called my mom. Her 53-year-old mother called my mother to try to parent trap us back together. My mom, bless her, put it on speaker so I could hear. Rachel's mom. They're being childish. Rachel said one silly thing, and Derek's overreacting. "Patricia, your daughter told my son she could do better." He agreed. I don't see the problem. But Rachel's been so depressed, she's not eating, she cries all the time. That sounds like a her problem, not a Derek problem. Don't you want your son to be happy? "Mom, he is happy. Happier than I've seen him in years, actually. With someone like Rachel, he'll never do better than her." "Patricia, I'm going to hang up now. Please don't call again." The audacity. Even her own mother thinks I couldn't do better. Plot twist though. Started talking to Amber from my climbing group. She's a software developer, super chill, and thinks the whole Rachel situation is better than reality TV. We're not official or anything, just hanging out. But it's nice being around someone who doesn't make me feel like a project that needs fixing. Rachel must have found out somehow, small city problems, because the texts from fake numbers started getting aggressive. Stuff like, "Amber's just using you for attention. She'll leave when she realizes what a loser you are. You think getting some muscles changes who you really are? You'll come crawling back." I documented everything and filed a police report for harassment, just to have a paper trail. Oh, and the best part? Remember how she was getting her MBA? Well, apparently she's been so distracted that she failed 2 classes and is on academic probation. Her friend Elena, who I'm still cool with, told me Rachel blames me for sabotaging her future by, checks notes, leaving when she told me to. Make it make sense. Update 3, guys. I almost feel bad for her. Almost. So quick life update. Got promoted to senior business analyst already. My boss said I'm exceeding expectations. Down 35 pounds total, actually have visible abs for the first time in my life. Amber and I are officially dating, she's incredible. Bought a motorcycle, always wanted one. Rachel said they were death traps for idiots. Life's genuinely good. Like, I wake up excited about my day good. But Rachel, she's spiraling. Elena's been keeping me updated. Not because I asked, but because she's genuinely concerned. Rachel dropped out of her MBA program, lost her job, she was missing too much work, moved back with her parents. Has been telling everyone I emotionally abused her, and that's why she's struggling. That last one pissed me off enough that I posted all the screenshots of her harassment on my Instagram story with the caption, "Since people keep asking what happened." The response was immediate. Turns out she'd been telling people I cheated, I was abusive, I stole money from her. What money? I made 42K lol. My screenshots showed her admitting she said I wasn't good enough, her begging me to come back, her threats about Amber, her showing up at my gym and parents' house, the 200+ texts from fake numbers. Her friends turned on her quick, she lost most of her friend group. Elena said she showed up drunk at a party last weekend, saw a picture of me and Amber on someone's phone, and had a complete meltdown. Had to be carried out. Then last week, the voicemail. The voicemail. It was 3 a.m. She was clearly drunk. 5 minutes of sobbing, slurring about how I ruined her life, and was supposed to fight for her, and wasn't supposed to actually change, and how it's not fair that I'm living her dream while she's stuck. The key quote that made me actually laugh out loud: "You were supposed to beg me to stay. You were supposed to prove you deserved me. You weren't supposed to become this. It's not fair. I was the one going places. I was the prize. Now you're with that coding girl, and I'm... Then she threw up on the voicemail and hung up. Amber heard it the next morning, and her reaction was perfect. "So she's mad that you took her advice and improved yourself?" Basically. "And she's mad that you didn't beg for someone who said they could do better." Yep. The delusion is actually impressive. We laughed about it over breakfast. Then I blocked the number she called from, and we went about our day. Final update. This will be my last update, because honestly, Rachel's not even a factor in my life anymore, and I want to keep it that way. The good stuff. Salary's now at 78K after another promotion. Hit my goal weight fitness level, lost 42 pounds total, gained solid muscle. Amber and I moved in together. Bought my dream car. Nothing crazy, just a nice Mazda, but it's mine and paid in cash. Actually happy. Like, genuinely. Wake up grateful happy. The Rachel finale. She saw me and Amber at a brewery last weekend. I didn't notice her at first. We were with friends laughing about something. Then I felt someone staring. There she was, at the bar, alone. She looked rough, hair unwashed, gained weight, which no judgment, but the irony wasn't lost on me, and just had this defeated energy. She walked over. Amber tensed, but I squeezed her hand like it's cool. "Derek, Rachel. You look good. Thanks. You doing okay?" She laughed, but it was hollow. "Do I look okay?" I didn't answer. "I was wrong," she said quietly. "About everything. I thought you'd fight for me, prove me wrong, show me you could be better, but instead you just became better, without me. Yeah, turns out I could do better too, just not in the way you meant." She looked at Amber, then back at me. "I really fucked up, didn't I?" "Yeah. Would you ever?" "No." She nodded, tears starting. "For what it's worth, you weren't the problem. I was so focused on what I thought I deserved I couldn't see what I had. I could have been cruel, could have twisted the knife. Instead I just said, 'I hope you figure it out, Rachel. I really do.'" She walked away. Amber waited until she was gone, then said, "That was very mature of you. Living well is the best revenge and all that. Also, you know her life sucks now, and that probably helps. Also that, yeah." We laughed, finished our drinks, and went home to our apartment where I'm typing this while Amber plays video games next to me, occasionally showing me funny TikToks. Looking back, Rachel saying I wasn't the best she could do was the best thing that ever happened to me. It forced me to look at myself and realize I wasn't the best I could do either. The difference is, I did something about it. She thought she was the prize. Turns out, we make ourselves the prize through our actions, not our words. To anyone reading this, in a similar situation, When someone tells you you're not good enough, believe them. Then become good enough, not for them, but for yourself. And when they come back, they always do, you'll realize you've outgrown them entirely. Thanks for following along, Reddit. I'm out. Edit. No, I'm not taking Rachel back, no matter how many of you think I should show mercy. She made her choice, I made mine. We both have to live with the consequences. Edit 2. To the people saying I'm fat-phobic for mentioning Rachel's weight gain, I specifically said no judgment. I mentioned it only to note the irony of her insulting my weight and then experiencing the same thing when her life fell apart. That's not fat phobia, that's just observing karma. Edit 3. Rachel found this post. She texted from her friend's phone saying, I'm exploiting her pain for internet points. I reminded her that she exploited my pain for 4 years. Also, maybe don't text the person who has a restraining order pending against you. Just a thought.